We keep talking about disrupting an industry. But for the next one, and the next two, in fact, we go back to the green side of the force. So many of you like sustainable development, are interested of clean energy, how that we can solve the problem of energy taking without damaging nature. But the solution actually are very hard to find or use for common people like you and me. So we had a team of entrepreneurs here that find a way for everybody to have their own power generation unit, green and easy to use. So I'm very pleased today to introduce you Idénergie.
Hello everyone, my name is Pierre Blanchet, president and co-founder of the HYDROKINETIC turbine company, Idénergie. So first, let's transport ourselves back in 2009, where it all started. So I was studying for my master degree in renewable energy at my uncle's cabin, okay, very quietly. And then suddenly I heard a loud noise. I said, Uncle, what's that noise? He said, son, this is my power generator. I have to charge the batteries so we can have some electricity tonight. But I said, Uncle, don't you have a less polluting and less noisy solution? He said, like solar panels or wind turbine. I said, the problem is that it's not sunny enough in here, and I would have to cut my beautiful trees around my cabin, and it's not windy enough either. So, and also with the playoffs that will begin next week, I need some reliability. So that's why I use a gas generator. But I said, speaking of reliability, I mean, you have a river flowing in front of your cabin. Why don't you use that? He said, because I could not find any commercial unit that could do that job. And I took my calculator and said, wow, there's enough power in the river to convert it into electricity. And with that, we could charge your batteries and feed your home appliances. So I start to look at the market of solar panel industry. So what you can see is that we have more than 100 companies of solar panels spread all around the world. And that's the same thing for the wind turbine. These are multi-billion-dollar industry. But the question is, where are the hydrokinetic turbines? So let's have a look at the rivers around the world. So what we see here, this is a map made by National Geographic, okay? And this is representing all the rivers of the world. So what we can see is where we have population, we have rivers, okay? So I connected the dots, okay? There are more than 1.4 billion people around the world that do not have any access to electricity. And this is a real fact, and government around the world are spending millions to help those people to get an access to electricity. And closer to us, in the United States, more than 13 million gas generators are sold per year. Why? Because the national grid is getting older. There are more and more power failures. And also, some people want an emergency electric backup system to protect them against the bad side effects of global warming. And there are other people who are living far away from the national grid, and they need power. So they have two choices. First option, connecting to the electrical grid. The cost is around $40,000 per kilometer. Okay, so it didn't take long before my uncle went to the store and bought a gas generator. So the price is $3 of fuel an hour for such a generator, okay? No matter what your electrical consumption is. But there's a newcomer, and it's a greener energy source, okay? It's called the hydrokinetic turbine, and we wanted to be the first to make it. So as an electrical engineer, okay, for many years, I needed some help on the mechanical side. So that's why I asked my friend Gilles Trottier, who is a former entrepreneur who had a mechanical workshop with more than 40 employees. So he was the guy who knew how to design a mechanical unit. And then I needed someone a business developer, a CPA, my old friend Denis Bastien, okay? So I united the team, and together we created that first prototype. So we tried it, and when we saw that we could extract some energy out of water, we said, let's start a business out of this. And this is how Idénergie was born. So we've been working, raising funding and working for 2 years to produce this prototype that you can see here. Let's have a look at it in action. So this is a unit that simply sits on the bed of the river, okay? And the turbines, by rotating, will transmit the movement to an electrical generator, and all you have to do is to connect the electrical cable to your system, to your batteries, to your small electrical network. That's about it. That's pretty easy.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
So do you think that we are the only one in that race? The only one who spotted that big market? Absolutely not. There are more than 50 projects ongoing while we speak today. And big players like Siemens, like Alstom, like Voigt. And from an engineering point of view, these projects are fantastic. But from my uncle point of view, okay, this is not what he needs. He doesn't have a crane. These are too big for him. Okay, what he wants is simply reliability, affordability, and portability. That's it. So in order to create such a machine, we combine 3 technology. First, a turbine. This is an old turbine, okay, but we liked the fact that it could accommodate our design of making energy in less than 2 feet of water. Also, the blades are pretty cheap to produce. They are easier to change than the tires of your car. Secondly, we needed a generator. And when you're trying to make electricity underneath the water, there's a big problem. The problem is that you have a turbine connected to the generator with a shaft. The shaft goes through the enclosure of the generator, okay? So even if you have the best seals in the world, the water and humidity will get inside the enclosure of the generator sooner or later. That was a problem for a mass market product. So that's why we developed the shaftless technology. No shaft, let's remove it. So as you can see, this is our previous prototype, and Gilles, my partner, is inserting a ruler between the turbine and the generator, proving that there is no shaft, and still we can power up our logo. So this breakthrough technology is currently under the Patent Cooperation Treaty, so we are protecting our intellectual property because this could be used also in other industry as a subwater motor, for instance. And our third link is the smart hydro converter. Okay, every engineer knows that a turbine rotational speed can provide maximum mechanical output at specific speed. And we also have to convert electricity and all that stuff. But my uncle doesn't want to know that. All he cares about is connecting the black and red cable to the batteries like his car. Okay, so that's why we developed the smart converter technology. It's a small PCB. I call it the brain of the turbine. It's embedded in our generator, and it does all that job, so you don't have to care about this. And from the finance department, there is another link, the cost effectiveness. So let me explain why. So this is the levelized cost per kilowatt hour. Let's start with solar panels. Okay, let's see the evolution of the technology through years. So as you can see, the price dropped over time and stabilized in the last 10 years, between 28 cents and 46 cents. Idénergie is a pretty young company. So we've been releasing a prototype each year, and we're about to release our next one pretty soon. So in low velocity, we can achieve a cost like this. This is the cost for reliability. If we go on higher velocity, it's becoming interesting. And on velocity, such as 2.5 meters per second, it's really interesting because we can match the price of the solar panel. For a reliable source of energy, green energy, that's excellent. So some people, we can expect that with mass production, we will reach this. We're going to talk about it later. So many people are asking us, what about the gas generator? What about your uncle's setup, for instance? So I'm going to need some extra room here, thank you, because the price is following the oil pricing. Okay, so it may look like that. And in the future year, it might evolve like this. Sorry. So let's summarize our 2012 prototype. So it's reliable 24 hours a day, making it an excellent backup system. The payback average is 3 years. There's a low footprint, recyclable material, up to 95%. And of course, it's compact and dismountable. You can dismount every element in it, put them in a box, and then ship them worldwide pretty easily, like IKEA. The maintenance is easy thanks to our technology. So I'm really proud of what my team could accomplish so fast. And I am really happy to announce that this year we're about to release midsummer our commercial unit. Meanwhile, we have to develop our distribution network. This is what we're doing right now. Run for certifications, electrical one, CSA, UL. We want to make some international demonstration, place a unit on every continent on the planet so the user can build their trust. And, of course, the fish-friendly certification. We already have some results of studies that have been performed previously showing that there's no danger for fish. But we're going to have an independent company doing these tests for our turbine. And we were going to publish those results on our website, make them available for everyone. And, of course, product validation, stress test, make sure we have a good unit for sale. 2014, and this is where we need your help because we are receiving phone calls. Since we have put this video on the internet, we are receiving phone calls every week that people want this product. But all we have to do is to build it. So we need to mass produce it. And the next industrial revolution will be green. If you want to help protect the planet and also position your investment for the future, then this is the opportunity you were looking for. Thank you, everyone.